Guys, I got a pig head. Let's cook it. Okay, so we're gonna prep this thing, let it go in the fridge and sit overnight, and then tomorrow we're gonna cook it. So we're gonna start, I got about 3/4 of a cup of white vinegar, and I'm just gonna give a nice massage on the whole head. I wish somebody would give me a nice head massage. So we're just gonna start out, get his snout. So you can see I'm being kind of gentle. Even though he's had a shave and a haircut, he still has some little hairs that are poking out that are kind of like little sharp needles, and they're kind of poking into me. So I'm gonna be kind of careful as I go and I give him this massage. We're gonna get the ears. We're gonna just get the everything. We'll get the ears. And guys, don't worry if you go a little heavy-handed on that vinegar. If you need to, just get a little bit more. There's no set amount that you can use. And you can also splash it up from the bottom of the pan a little bit. Whatever it takes, just get a nice coating on there, rub it in. Inside the ears, outside the ears. Just be sure and get all this really, really good. Get his cheeks. Oh, those cheeks. We'll get the cheeks. The cheeks have some of the best meat on the entire animal. Now we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some seasonings. I'm gonna start with about a 1/4 cup of salt. We're just gonna give it a nice sprinkling all over, and we'll start massaging it in. Don't be afraid to touch this thing. He's not gonna bite you at this point. We're just gonna rub this in really good. Once again, the snout, the ears, his head. Gotta get that head. The other ear. We want to get down on his neck. He still has teeth. Now I've got about 1/8 of a cup of black pepper. Same thing, we're gonna pour it all over. Just get it nice and massaged in. Now I'm keeping it real simple with my spices today. I've seen people do this with Cajun seasoning. I've seen it done with, they'll put like fresh chopped garlic and fresh herbs, or they'll have their own barbecue spice rub. Really, there's no limits to what you can use, and it's all about your own personal preference and what flavors you like and what you're looking to do with it in the long run. I think the salt and pepper is a real simple, basic seasoning that really works well in the end. And I have about 1/8 of a cup of garlic powder. Same thing. Now guys, I'm going to be cooking this in the oven today, but there's so many different ways you can do it. I've actually seen people put these in the deep fryer just like a turkey, but you can put it on the smoker. That's a real popular way to do one of these. So many different ways, but I'm going to try to show you a real simple, easy method that turns out great every time. Get the ears, always get the ears. The ears are going to be so crispy and delicious. So there's no meat in the ears, so they're basically just going to be straight cracklings. It's all crispity, crunchy goodness when it comes to them. Want to get under here, under his jaw and his jowls. Another spot with some just amazing meat. All right. Okay, I think we're ready. So this is gonna go into the fridge. We're gonna leave it there overnight. We're gonna let all this seasoning soak in. It's gonna actually also draw out some of the moisture. That way when we cook this, we're gonna get super crispy skin. That's key to doing a pig head or any sort of pork skin for that matter. So away to the fridge, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. So guys, I've got a baking dish here with a rack in it, and we're gonna transfer our head into this rack. Then we're gonna pat it dry and get it ready to go in the oven. Okay, so I'm gonna take some paper towels. We're just gonna start blotting this thing. And we're gonna get all the moisture off the skin. That way we can get nice and crispy. We'll get the snout. Oops. gonna take a couple of these. We're gonna get the ears really good because we want super crispy ears. All right, and you can see how wet that is, guys. That's what we want to get. We're going to get all that moisture off. Now we're ready. So basically what's happened is the salt and the pepper and the garlic have gone into the skin to flavor it while that moisture has come out. Now we're going to get super crispy skin. So let's go in the oven. I'm going to do 225 degrees. We're going to go in there for about 6 or 8 hours. And then we're going to fire up the heat, crisp up this skin for one final cook, and see what we can do. All right, let's cook. So guys, I'm gonna make a quick tonkatsu sauce. I thought that would be really good for dipping when we're tasting this pork. So it starts with about a ½ cup ketchup, a tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a tablespoon of Worcestershire, a tablespoon of mirin, a teaspoon of minced garlic. We're gonna do about a teaspoon of fresh grated ginger. That's it. We're gonna mix this all together and let it set for a couple hours while that pork cooks. We got ourselves a nice little dipping sauce. It should go really well with it. Don't forget to taste it either. You can always add another little bit of something if you need to. I think this came out perfect. So guys, there it is. And let me tell you what we did. We went 225 degrees for about 5 hours. Then I went 325 degrees for 2 hours. And I went 425 degrees for the last 30 minutes. This is how it came out. You can vary those times and temperatures a little bit if you want, depending on how big of a head you get. This thing weighed 15 pounds, and I think it worked just about perfect. And don't forget to let this thing rest for about a ½ hour when you pull it out. It's gonna be smoking hot, so give it a little break before you get into it. Guys, look at this beauty. Listen to this. And look at these ears. Did you see how big those ears poofed up? They're like little ear balloons. And guys, look at this whole cheek over here, this whole giant jowl. I'm gonna show you guys how to remove that here in just a moment. I did burn the snout just a little bit, but I'm okay with that. There's plenty of other skin that's just gonna be amazing on this thing, and I'm super excited to get into it and start enjoying it. So let's go ahead and take off this jowl. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna start just below the ear here, and we're gonna come right towards the